Hello and welcome back to another final table review. We made another final table yesterday. $8 buy-in Bounty Hunters Daily Double number 2. Coming in I believe 6th place, was it? I just showed there. It's either 5th or 6th. We're pretty well tied up with quite a few players. Lika Sosa, Nominate, pretty well tied with them. Hitchens, or Rip? Christopher Hitchens, I would imagine is who they're referring to. Boppity boo, boppity boo. Doesn't matter. So yeah, we're tied with a couple players there. We got Mr. Rowe with the big bounty, Zhenya with the small stack, super small bounty, min bounty $2 is the minimum. They haven't scooped any bounties, is what I'm trying to say. Then we got Dance on the River. When it comes to my seed selection here, I suppose I shouldn't skip over this. We're just going to sit to the right of the big bounty, $18 on Mr. Rowe's head. Short stack. We want to see what they're going to do. We want to get that bounty. That's what we want. First place is $190. That's good to note. Second place is also going to be $190. I flashed the other numbers. They don't really matter to me. We're here for first place. Doopity doo. So we also got a Newt with the big stack. Thor's Thor with the big stack, 56 blinds. Is that everybody? Dance on the River, Nominate? Yeah, I think that's everybody. So is there anything important to note? Thor is a random ass player. They're rather tight, but then they spaz out, which is super interesting. Zhenya was sitting out for almost 2 hours. Somehow had this big ass stack that completely blinded down. They were sitting out, and then somehow they landed on the final table here. A Newt, I would say is a complete fish. Nominate, super strong player, Dance on the River. Experienced, I didn't play with them, so I don't know. Mr. Rowe, another strong player, I do believe. I've seen them get it in good a couple of times. They missed out on a few bounties, but most importantly, the big stack is what they're missing out on. A couple of 4s in the big blind. We're facing a raise and a 3-bet. We'll quickly let the 4s go. So what's kind of the strategy here? It's look for a good hand. I don't care about making the ladders. We got 2 bodies that could quickly bust. I want the bounty. I want Mr.'s bounty, if we're being honest. Dippity doo. Queen 10 6 flop. Goes check, bet, call, 6 on the turn. Dippity doo, 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 doo. Interesting stuff. There's 2 flush draws out there. Ace King is a strong straight draw. Couple of overcards. And Newt finds another call. Both the flush draws miss. Our 4s don't make any boats. Nominates all in on the very first hand. Just like this, a Newt is going to go in the tank. Very unsure of what to do with himself. Dippity doo, 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 doo. So is there any other notes? Lick Sosa is an unexperienced player, but I don't think they were horrifically fishy. Hitchens, I just didn't play with. So that's kind of the notes we have going into the final table here. We're just looking to win a big pot, get in first place position, as everybody's rather tight. Thor with the big stack and Newt with the big stack. But we see somebody like a Newt with the big stack. It's very vulnerable. Already put in a very difficult situation. Wow, that looks punty. They're going to find the call. Aces versus jacks. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Boppity boo, boppity bee. 4s hit the muck. Haha. I love the emojis. Why did he say... Somebody let me know. Wow, that looks punty. Why did you say that before you called? Says it looks punty, but his value range is... I believe it's rather thin or narrow or some shit is what he said. So just like that, Nominate gets a nice cooler in their favor. I wonder if a Newt could have got away from the jacks there. I don't think so. I think I'm finding a call on the river there too. With all the flush draws missing, with all the ace king missing, ace jack missing, king jack missing. I think I find a call with a couple. Well, although to be fair, a couple of jacks, you're blocking some of the bluffs there now, aren't you? As we see Brendan with a king and or no, that's not a king, that's a queen and an 8 of the same suit. A Newt will go for the open. Brendan's going to fold the queen 8 suited with a short stack in the big blind. Ready to rip it all in? Should we call here? I don't think so, because I think we're just juicing the pot for Zhenya to rip it all in. We would have made a pair of queens. What does that matter? Ace and a 5 on the button. If there's an open, we'll have a fold. If it folds to us, we can go for the open. Boppity boo, boppity bee. If Mr. rips, that's a really difficult situation. Again, I think they're a tight player. Or a reasonable player. Not tight. So they're not going to show up with random ass. Huh. Like what? Like the worst hand? Would they even rip in Jack 10 suited? Very high equity hand? I wonder. As Nominate goes for the open. I'm just trying to think about what sort of holdings they're going to have. Obviously a lot of suited broadways. Ace 5 is ahead of some of that shit. I wonder if we could also go for the 3-bet pre-flop, put Nominate in a pickle. That we could have, but I didn't want to use this holding. Maybe Ace 5 suited. Doobity doo 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 doo. Doobity doo 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 doo. Nominate goes for another open. Lick Sosa in the small blind goes to the tank, excuse me. Rip it all in, Lick. Let's get an all in and a call. Quickly get some ladders. Let's get this final table moving along. Doobity doo 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 doo. Lick goes in the tank. And they find the fold. Doobity doo 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 doo. Would have flopped top pair. That does not matter. I had a jack and a 3. Ooh, an ace and a king. So what do we do here? If there's an open, we 3-bet. If Mr. jams, I think I jam over the top of it. It folds to me. I'm going to go for the big sizing pre-flop, 2.3 blinds. Boopity boo, boppity bee. We will go for the open. We get a call from the short stack. This is a weird spot, let me tell you. I've got no idea what to do. Mostly what I'm thinking about is Zhenya's playing 13% of their hands. Again, mostly due to sitting out. Queen 9 5 flop. 7.5 blinds in the middle. This is a weird spot. We do have the king of diamonds, but to be fair, I actually don't like holding it right now. As we face the all in. I'm not even going to think about this one. Zhenya ripping it all in. I imagine a lot of pocket pairs. There is the diamond draw potentials. Doopity doo. There's also just pairs of queens. There's like, would a pocket pair do that? Does 8s rip it all in facing the check? Probably not, right? So that's some sort of slow play, or I got bluffed off my muffin. Does he ever have the same hand with ace king? No, I doubt it. He rips it all in pre-flop. And then even the same thing with ace queen. I would imagine he rips it all in pre-flop. The call seems like it's either nuts or nothing. But then what sort of nothing does he call with pre-flop? Off 10 big blind stack. I've got no idea. It's such an interesting hand. Let me know what you think. As we see Zhenya rip it all in facing a Newt's open. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Then another thing I was wondering is, if had I gone for the min raise, does Zhenya just rip it all in? Does the 2.3x scare him? I doubt it. Boopity boo, boppity bee. And then the other thing is, again, it's just a min bounty. I don't give a shit about $2. Why would I risk such a... Why would I risk a third of my stack in such a mediocre situation? Was my thought process. Of course, ace king beats some hands, but with the king of diamonds, we quickly landed on the fold. Anyways, 9-5-4 flop goes check, check, 6 on the turn goes check. Hopefully some bets go in here. Nope. King of hearts on the river. Do-ba-dee-do-do-do-do-do. Another thing I was thinking is, should I have used some time bank to at least think about calling with the ace king? Like, I was pretty fucking determined and just check folding there. Should I go for a little raise? Should I lead out and then call? I've got no idea. I was just completely lost with the ace king, if we're being honest. But with the king of diamonds, I landed on a fold. Because again, like, I don't want to have the backdoor flush draw. I want him to have it to bluff. Because, like, what about king queen? Does king queen even call preflop? The call preflop has me in a pickle. It's like gotta be a strong ass pocket pair, or what? Suited broadways? Does like queen jack suited? Does it just call preflop? Off like 11 blinds? I've got no idea what some of these people are doing. So it's one of those situations where we either made a great fold or a horrific fold, but we will never know. Dibbity doo 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 doo. We see Zhenya go for the open. They have a death wish. A newt will play call 8-6-5 flop. 70k in the middle. Dibbity doo 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 doo. Zhenya using some time bank here. Oh, do. They will land on the check option. 9 on the turn. This is a pretty boring hand, let me tell you. 7 on the river, so we both make a straight. Any 10 makes a better straight. Jack 10 is the nuts. Zhenya leads out super small. This is interesting. Doobity doo 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 doo. Oh, how interesting of a hand. A newt goes for the raise here to 90k. Looking to buy the pot here. Doobity doo 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 doo. Okay, so Zhenya has king jack. A newt has ace queen. Spoiler alert. We're going to see Zhenya go in the tank for a little while and find the hero call. Very interesting spot by Zhenya. Just an interesting player. Off the short stack, they raise king jack, offsuit, under the gun, right? Under the gun +1, I suppose. I'm pretty sure it's offsuit. If it's suited, then it's like, okay, that makes plenty of sense. King jack offsuit. We're the shortest stack. No, we're not. Mr. is the shorter stack. Mr. was in the big blind, so Zhenya says, let me open up into your big blind. Try to get that bounty. Doobity doo 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 doo. Facing the raise on the river here. Should we just land on a fold? So yeah, king jack offsuit finds the call. We'll hop on over to a break. What takes so long? English is not first language. Oh, I shouldn't make jokes about that. He's just trying, right? Oh, Brennan, we'll just cut that out. Alrighty, a jack and a 3 in the big blind back from the break. Boppity boo, boppity bee. So we're playing 30 blinds deep, that's good news. Nominate has just under 100 blinds. A newt with about 40. Thor disconnected, unfortunately, on the final table here. I think we'll see him reconnect. Again, 190 bucks for first place. Doesn't really matter about the rest of the numbers. Or here for first place. Plus all those bounties on top of it would be a very nice score, about 400 bucks. Boppity boo, boppity bee. We'll take that. Doopity doo 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 doo. Thor comes back. Deep in the tank. We'll go for the open. We'll have the snap fold button on. Doopity doo 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 doo. Doopity doo 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 doo. So has there been any interesting hands so far? The ace king raise and take it down. No, it didn't take it down pre-flop, my bad. Oh, another ace king. Sorry, the ace king Zhenya was the only interesting hand so far to... Was the only interesting hand to get things going during the first half hour or so. I suppose it wasn't even a half hour. Oh boy, what a disaster. Anyways, ace king suited, very strong holding. What's the game plan? If there's a single raise, we go for a non-all-in 3-bet. Thor goes for a 2.3x. So I think about 8 blinds is the size I would go. A Newt finds the call. There's 7.4 in the middle, so I'm going to land on the all-in option. Should I go for a non-all-in 3-bet? I'm going to think about it for a little bit. I'm going to land on the all-in. I think that's what I want to do with most of my pocket pairs. Suited broadways, such as king-queen suited. Ace-10 suited might be the lowest. Because I think these two players are going to be playing a lot of holdings. Ace-jack offsuit? Nope. Ace-queen offsuit might be the worst holding. We're going to get a big flipski here. A Newt with a couple of jacks. 8-6-5 flop. Bad news for Brendan. Club dealer. No, 3 on the turn. Alrighty, we're going to need an ace or a king. Oh, we get paint. Oh, a jack on the river. Fuck's sakes, Poker Stars. What the hell is this all about? Coming in like 5th or 6th and we get 9th. What a damn shame. So that's not the result we wanted, now is it? We wanted the $190 plus with the bounties up top. Instead we get 9th? What the hell? What the hell? Alrighty, so that was very anticlimactic. Climatic? I don't know if I pronounced that word right. In the end, it doesn't matter. That's the end of the show. So what can we say about today's show? It really, really sucks. We made the final table. I think there was only about 400 runners, so what does it matter? To get 9th place, that's a pretty impressive showing. Ace and a king of the same suit. Again, we could have went for the non-all-in 3-bet. Let me know what you think about that. If there's just a single raise and without the caller, I think I'm just finding non-all-in 3-bet. Again, around 8 blinds. Maybe I should go smaller. 7.5, just make it 3x out of position. Doopity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Because what's super cool is with your small 3-bets, non-all-in, you get a lot of induces, or you induce a lot of jams. So that's really cool. But again, like the ace-king suited ripping it all in, I kind of want to represent some sort of ace-queen offsuit, maybe ace-jack suited. Just something that looks to want to buy the pot pre-flop. Look to get a curious call from ace-queen. Look to get a curious call from what? King-queen suited would be nice. Probably not going to happen. Boppity-boo, boppity-bee. So a Newt slow plays the jack and the jack. That really fucked me here. Had they 3-bet, what am I going to do? Rip it all in. And we'll lose. So what happens if we go for the non-all-in 3-bet? Maybe a Newt calls. Maybe they just call the jack-jack. And then again, they're going to gear up and take their jacks all the way to the bank. So then I might put in a c-bet. I might fold or check fold on the turn. Unimproved. Jack on the river. I'm certainly not putting in another chip. So had we 3-bet non-all-in, maybe we survive. Maybe we move along. Maybe we're still in the tournament with a chance to get the bounty from Mr. O. Instead, ace-king suited rips it all in. And we're done. 9th place position. So let me know what you think. That ace-king facing Zhenya with the open. Queen 10 X flop, whatever the fuck it was. We check fold on it. And then this ace-king, we just rip it all in. This one seems pretty easy. 32 blinds. There's 7.5 in the middle. Just an all-in, and hopefully things go good. They do not. So we're out in 9th, and that's the end of the show. Alrighty, that's... He was just going to say that's the end of the show again. That's funny. But it is the end of the show, finally. So if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this shit out. Hopefully we'll see you in another one. Till then, adios amigos.